What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another fantastic week so far. It's been a quiet, calm, somewhat calm around the Ravens fan base, and around. It's been a busy week or so with the organization, with trying to find the next offensive coordinator and trying to get the Lamar contract underway, and so on and so forth. It's it is honestly a breath of fresh air. The only thing that has really gotten me grinding my gears is the city of Cincinnati and their fan base. Now that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother conversation that we can get into, but I'd rather not at this point. Um, since we don't have a lot to talk about this week, it'll probably be a shorter episode, maybe 15 to mm, 30 minutes will probably be pushing it, but just a few things to go over this week, really. Um, they've continued the interview process for the offensive coordinator position. There was name I can't or one guy who I can't remember his name for the life of me. He was the offensive coordinator for the run game specialist for the Denver Broncos this past season, and we were all immediately said no. Also, internals James Urban and uh, tight ends coach Godsey has also had their interviews as well. I believe they brought in Frank Reich for an interview, even though he is now officially the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. They have reached out to the Chiefs to interview their offensive coordinator, and so on and so forth. There, it's still a large hot commodity out there, or for all these different coordinators and quarterbacks coach, game specialists. It it's really fun to just think about all the potential that this team has going forward, especially with Lamar helping out with finding his new coordinator going forward. It's it's fun. Now, I still would like to have Philly's Brian Johnson or Kevin Patullo as my first external candidates, or the Rams quarterback coach, which I'd have to double check, but I think he accepted the position already, but don't quote me. As far as internal, I would love to have James Urban just to see what kind of creativity he can come up with. Obviously, he works with Lamar one already, with obviously being the quarterbacks coach, but has been working with his mechanics all year, and he's got a fairly close relationship with Lamar, as far as I am not know of. So that just kind of makes sense. And as far as Mr. Godsey goes, I do believe he was a fairly well respected offensive mind at the college level, but just have to take one step at a time. I feel like this is a interview process that needs to be doesn't necessarily need to be rushed, but it does need to be done in a timely manner, and they do have to make a decision before some of these coaches finally are just like, they're taking too long. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this offer that is waiting for me. So, but the season isn't over just yet because we have this weekend's AFC and NFC championships. So, pending the results of that will determine whether we get certain coordinators or coaches readily available for interviews. Just have to play the hurry up and wait. I feel like this is going to be a decision that will probably take place closer to either week of the Super Bowl or post Super Bowl. Could be right after, could be right before, could be at the League New Year. We won't know until it happens. And it could literally happen at any moment. It's exciting. I haven't felt this happy as a fan in a little while. Now, as far as some Lamar contract speculations, we had it earlier this week where the conversation about him turning down the 133 million to 160 or 80, whatever it was, that came back up again. Because that was some of the initial numbers that were thrown out there for guarantees. Now, we don't fully know whether that was the actual guarantee or that was some like starting initiative. There's so many misconceptions out there, and we all know that Lamar is going to stay. There's a 200% chance that he's going to be staying due to the fact that Greg Roman is gone. There's been some sources from his, in quotations, inner circle that are have came out and said that since Greg Roman has left Baltimore, that he is staying. So now it's just basically Lamar and Eric DaCosta taking moments, whether it be before the League New Year, whether it be at the League New Year or shortly after. It's basically just them hashing it out and negotiating, finding the perfect number, and perfect. And by perfect number, I mean, year and guaranteed money, so on and so forth. So we know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when and the final details of the contract. I'm excited to have Lamar back in Baltimore. A lot of people are saying that this is a Russ or AJ Brown situation. No, it's not. We are literally just seeing what happens from here. He is going to be one of the top 5 highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Excuse me. Wasn't kind of an interesting day today. So, anyways, another conversation for another time. But Lamar is going to be part of this offense for a long time, and with them giving him free reign and helping out with the hiring process, it's going to be fun. I am looking forward to the next however many years it takes for this team to reach the Super Bowl. I'm saying it's going to be either probably this season or the following because 12-year cycles is what the Ravens seem to be on because obviously they won in 2000 into the 2001 season and then 2012 into 13. So it wouldn't shock me if this team has another decent year, like they're in the AFC or championship game, or they make it into the divisional and go from there, take that fire and go into 2024, 2025 and just take it to the house. That's just my thoughts, though. Now, if something else does happen, we'll see. I'm hoping it happens this year, but this year is still in not a total rebuild, but it's still that whole, we got to get this team put back together. We got to build Lamar that offense that he wants and needs to succeed. Lamar was successful in spite of Greg Roman's me not necessarily mediocre, but his style offense. That's what we all can say and agree on, at least in my opinion. But going forward, we all know that this is an exciting time. Finding Lamar's offensive coordinator and finding that right number from Lamar. Obviously, the offensive line isn't going to change too terribly much. It's going to be a case of finding either keeping Ben Powers on the offensive line or finding someone who will take that spot at left guard. That's been a giant question mark for a couple years now, but we'll see. And also, the big thing about the whole wide receiver room, that's still going to be an awesome rebuild as well. We're going to still have foundation in Rashad Bateman when he catches up from surgery and rehab. I would say same with Devin Duvernay. Maybe bring Demarcus Robinson in for a 1-year deal to keep, or even a team-friendly 2 to 3 year deal. We'll see. As far as getting another proven vet in via trade or free agency, that would be awesome. Whether that be Odell Beckham Jr., hopefully, or as of right now, the favorite is DeAndre Hopkins. That would be fun as well. But I feel like this is going to be another draft where they go and try or this year will be another draft try on top of possibly going out and getting some proven guys. And speaking of NFL draft, we're going to go ahead and have our first live mock draft of the season. This year, we're using the PFF mock draft simulator, and let's get to rolling. Now, according to PFF, it's wide receiver, edge, and cornerback. And right off the bat, I'm going to go with the Zay Flowers propaganda agenda. By what I'm seeing so far, he fits the scheme or a possible scheme that could fit in just about anywhere in this team. I think he's going to complement Lamar really well. Ooh. And let's see. Best player available is second round. We're gonna go Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback. Gotta go back to the U. That were 2 Hall of Fame players. In round 3, I'm gonna stick with best player available. mentality. And we're going to go guard Antonio Mafi out of UCLA. Obviously, that'll be a rotational piece in there. I still need to go and watch some film on these guys, get up on their profiles, and go from there. All right. And next, who do we want to go with? Honestly, I don't know. This is where I kind of get a little stuck. You know what? Could always use some solid rotation. I'm going to go ahead and take offensive lineman. He's listed as tackle right here. Luke Haggard out of Indiana, just to rep IU a little bit. I know I did that already in one of my first mock drafts, and that's to represent my boy TD, who is also an proud IU alum. And let's see. And the last pick, I'm going to default to edge rusher because, we can never get enough. And I'm going to go DJ Johnson. So now we're waiting for this to finalize. I'm fairly content with this first live mock draft, even though it's only 5 picks so far. Maybe next week we'll get it when we do our next mock draft. We'll do some trades or blow something completely out of the water. But we'll see when we get there. Maybe if things work out well, we'll take a look and see if we can get any of our other fellow Ravens ATB contributors in here. All right, so PFF is giving us a grade of A with Zay Flowers pick, A minus with the Tariq Stevenson pick, B minus with Mafi, C plus with Luke Haggard, and B plus with DJ Johnson. I am going to keep that. And they're giving us an overall draft grade of A minus. Now, for those of you who are watching this or will be watching this, so on and so forth, please give me a solid ranking on what you guys think of this. I wouldn't love it if y'all gave me that or gave me the feedback, but take a solid look at this. Leave a comment, send me a DM, do what you got to do. I'm pretty happy about it. Got some additional depth for up front. Got a nice receiver to add to the rebuild. And just some nice rotational pieces. I already said it once, but hey, can't digress too far. Now, like I said, this was going to be a short episode, 15 to 20 some odd minutes. 30 was going to be pushing it, but let's keep the fun going with some of these mock drafts. Send me some situations you want me to do, or if next week you want me to do like just some outrageous picks that would blow everyone's mind. Or maybe we can get Nick and TD in here and us do a 3-way dueling mock draft. But anyways, that's all I got tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the little bit of shooting the shit that I had for y'all. As always, please follow us over at Ravens_ATB on Twitter. Same with our main page at ATB net_network. Or if you want to follow any of my personal stuff, go follow me at the handle provided, whether that be Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and that's about it for that username. But please just give us a like, subscribe, so on and so forth. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. We'll see y'all next week.